Well, if you look up mustard sommelier, you'll only find one person's name, and his name is Harry Lalousis. He joins us here on the show. He's a mustard sommelier with La Maison Mère. Welcome to the show. It's great to have you here.
Good to be here.
So I have to ask, how does one become a mustard sommelier?
So a sommelier is an ancient Gaelic word for the meaning of someone who holds the knowledge of something.
Okay.
So it was used in the 13th century by the wine industry, and that's how we know it today. But actually, we had mustard sommeliers in our first boutique in Paris in 1747.
So you're just reviving that,
Just revived it, and obviously I love mustard. I do everything with mustard.
Well, and one thing I know you don't love, and that is food waste. And
I hate
the stats here in this country, I think, are very surprising. People will be surprised. Tell us a little bit about the food waste here in
So
Canada.
we did a research, and you have about 170 kilos per Canadian per year of food waste. And what's worse than that, it goes into landfill, so it creates methane because it doesn't decompose properly,
Right.
and it harms the environment. So we've devised a great way, I think, of turning that food waste, like your leftovers, into the next day's lunch, for example.
Yeah, because the complaint for a lot of people is, I don't want to eat the same thing over and over again, right? That's why a lot of people don't end up saving them, but it is a huge waste. But you brought along some examples of how you can use a meal, right?
Yeah, because I don't like eating the same thing as well.
Yeah,
so
understood.
What I do is mustard and cornichon, for example, can really help you to transform. So you've got your dinner from last night, so you've made a roast beef with potatoes, let's say. You can turn that into a lovely sandwich with caramelized onions, just mustard, Dijonnaise in this one. You can make a dip to take with you to work. And you can theme it. You can theme it from your holidays where you visited recently to get rid of the lunch blues, right?
That's a great idea. And then we have a salmon dish here.
So you have a salmon, so literally you bought too much salmon, you cook what you were going to eat for the night.
Right.
The rest, just turn it into a tartare with just some avocado, vinegar and mustard, and just serve it on some cucumber.
Very simple.
Wheat-free as well.
I like
which is
it.
Brilliant.
What do we have over here?
So you had chicken with potatoes the night before, and you just, what's left over, chuck it in a pan, bit of olive oil, some chili if you like, and peppers.
And you make a nice little wrap for yourself, right?
Take it with some lettuce leaves only. Make a really nice spicy dip with soy sauce and vinegar and sesame seeds. And you're going to be the talk of the office, right?
I agree 100%. A lot of people are jealous of my lunches because I bring some pretty... But my problem is I just bring the same thing from the day before instead of creating something like this. Now, you say, too, there's a method of creating the perfect sandwich because most people, let's be honest, when they bring lunch to work, I think it's, what, over 70% of people end up with sandwiches for work, right?
72% of Canadians eat sandwiches 3 times a week. So that's 110 million sandwiches coast to coast per week.
That's a lot of sandwiches. So how do you build the proper sandwich? Maybe you can walk us through here this morning.
If you've got your bun, the most important thing is first to layer it with butter. Because that's going to stop your bun from getting soggy. Right?
Right.
And then you do your mustard. I know you like a hot mustard.
I love
So I'm going to use
mustard.
a Dijon Original.
Okay.
And then you literally just put your mustard on. It's important to put it on the bun and just spread it because that's going to activate the flavor of your whole sandwich and marry the ingredients together.
Right.
And you've got, you know, whatever
So don't
leftover.
put it on the meat. Like, don't put the meat in and then on it. It goes right on the bun.
Then the second thing is you want your heavier things to go on the base. So your meats, your cheese.
Okay.
So if you're going to use cheese, put it on the base because together with the butter, that's going to kind of keep it nice and fresh. And then you've got, let's say, your meat. And then you would put your crunchy vegetables or lettuce or anything on top. And you can make it the night before and it will actually hold its form.
So you being the only mustard sommelier in the entire world, I need to pick your brain because a lot of people don't understand how mustard is processed and comes to be, but you get training through that, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
So so can you walk us through the process?
So basically, you get your mustard seed, and mustard seed has what we call inside it sinigrin, which is an umami flavor, and it activates the flavors. It's bactericidal, it's antibacterial, it doesn't like anything in it. So when you add flavors to it, it tries to push the flavors out, and you get an intensification of the flavor.
Okay.
And it's exactly what it does to your dishes when you're cooking it as well. So it creates a gas when you heat it, that gas tries to escape, and in its way out, it increases the flavors of the dish.
And I imagine, too, because there's so many different flavors of mustards and varieties of mustard, the seed must absorb flavor very well,
Oh, yeah,
right?
absolutely, absolutely. So literally a mustard is mustard powder, which is the seed grinded.
Right.
At my, specifically, we cut the seed. That's a patent. So no one else does it our way, and it keeps the flavors intact. But more or less, you have the mustard flour, like we call it, white wine vinegar or white wine, and
Right.
salt. That's it. That's
It's that
all
simple.
it is.
Hey, Harry, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Really
Thanks for
appreciate it.
having
Hey,
me.
bring your sandwich up a notch. Make sure you take those leftovers and make something beautiful and make everybody at work jealous. We'll be back with more BT right after this.